good Wednesday morning, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully everybody had a good Cinco de Mayo, as much as you could be in prison. Remember, Cinco de Mayo is not Mexican Independence Day, right? It's a successful battle of the Puebla over the French. So hopefully everybody enjoyed their locked up Cinco de Mayo. Man, hopefully this time next year I'm not making a video at this time in the morning and I'm still laying in bed or on a beach somewhere. A quick update on my mom. For those of you who know and care, and even for the folks who don't know, apparently you've shown immense care for my mom, and I appreciate that. She certainly appreciates all the thoughts and the prayers. She's still recovering, slowly but surely, up in the Hamptons with my sister, and I think Monday she's supposed to go and get her stitches out. So kind of going back to COVID-19 ground zero to go get her stitches out and get what's left of her lungs x-rayed to make sure, actually not for cancer, but no fluid and everything's good. She's getting up out of a chair now under her own steam and moving around a little bit. So truly blessed. Very, even in these tough days, it can always be worse. Man, my dad used to tell me that, and he always used to remind me, you survived every one of your worst days. And the one you don't, you're probably not going to remember. So remember that. Even in all these dark times, you survived all your own worst days. Florida's actually opening up here in Broward, Miami-Dade, and Palm Beach. We're still closed. We're still locked in prison here because apparently the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, and all sorts of other great stuff this country was founded on were all thrown out the window. Essentially because there's a little asterisk that I didn't see on my copy of the Constitution that says in case, unless people get sick, then all this stuff goes out the windows. Looking forward to another great day of trading. This is bad. This is good, but this is bad. Here's this is bad. Let me pretend to put on my flight suit and tell you how I feel as an American. As an American, this is bad. The ADP jobs numbers just came out at 8:30. 21 million Americans out of work. Not even close. ADP numbers not even close. I think Friday's government jobs numbers looking for mid-20s. That's still not even close. My prediction right now is there's about 30 million Americans that don't have a job, and I'd say about half of those will never get their jobs back, mainly in the service sectors. It's not going to happen. I think at the low of this whole thing, we're going to be looking at low six figures in deaths. We already blew through the 60. We're through 70 yesterday. We're looking at least six figures, low six figures in deaths. And I think we're going to see probably 40% unemployment. We're sitting in right now, folks. We are sitting in a recession, and we're hurtling towards a Great Depression unless we really, really, really get airborne here. We have got to open up and MAWA, make America work again. But why is this bad? It's bad because the stock market's doing that. You have got to remember, if you're new to investing or you're just learning about investing, the number one thing you need to learn right now is the stock market is not the economy. Especially right now, it's not even close. The stock market has regained half of the implosion, and we're heading higher. Why? Fake money. Wouldn't that be great? Wouldn't it be awesome if I could go in my home office and just print money? That's what the federal government is doing right now. The Federal Reserve is literally making money out of thin air. So you have to ask yourself, and Jeffrey Gundlach, who runs Double Line Capital out in Los Angeles, I think $100 billion assets under management, asked a great question yesterday. He's like, so if the government can just print money to finance these things, why do we pay taxes? I want you to think about that more slowly, tremendously slowly. Nobody does slowly better than me, believe me, like nobody's seen before. Think about that. The Federal Reserve is just printing money to be able to buy collateralized mortgage-backed securities, or to buy ETFs, to buy the JNK and the LQD. Ask yourself, why are you paying taxes if the government can print its own money to get itself out of trouble? Hey, Donald, Steve Mnuchin, and Jerome, Mr. Powell. Yeah, I'm not paying my taxes this year. Why don't you just go print what I owe and we'll call it even? That's called a moral hazard, ladies and gentlemen. When people start realizing that the government can just do this, it's bad. The other moral hazard is this. The stock market just keeps going up here. Why? Because that Federal Reserve, just making up money, has injected at this point, I'm using cocktail napkin math here, it was like 6.2 last week. I think it's, let's just, a trillion here, a trillion there. Pretty soon we're talking about real money. Let's just round up and say there's $10 trillion that the Fed, the Treasury, are just pushing into the financial system. That has to go somewhere. It's like squeezing on a balloon here, folks. Where's it going to go? Up. Where are 40 million Americans going? Down. That is dangerous, and that's a moral hazard. I mentioned months ago, I predicted this, excuse me, that we might see potential civil unrest, man. When you see bankers in Wall Street, robber barons getting richer and richer as 40 million Americans are out of work, that's not a recipe for success. So I'm torn personally, right? I like to tell my members at Top Gun Options that I wear two suits. I wear my flight suit and I'll tell you how I feel as an American, and then I'll throw on some $6,000 Armani and pretend I'm Gordon Gekko. So in my flight suit, I'm going to tell you that this is bad. This is very bad. When the stock market keeps going up and that evil 1% get eviler or more 1%er, and that's bad. We need to, the Fed, the Treasury, Donald Trump needs to start helping out Main Street and not Wall Street. That's what I'll tell you wearing my flight suit as an American. As Gordon Gekko, I don't care. No offense, I'm not going to sit in my office curled up in the fetal position sucking my thumb. If the government's going to do this, I'm going to capitalize off of it and make money. That's America too, folks, right? And I had a couple losing trades like 3 or 4 weeks ago. Why? Because I thought we were going to implode even more. I was wrong. I didn't think the Federal Reserve, our government, would step in to save capitalism, and they did. So literally, I should have taken a picture of them. I sent out a recycling bin a couple weeks ago full of old investing books. It's over with. You can don't ever talk to me if I trade and I look. Well, if you look at the 2008 crisis or the pandemic, silence. Nothing is more important than being present, namaste, today. Anybody who starts a sentence with, well, before when that, shut up. There ain't no before when this happened. First of all, there ain't no before when this happened with the coronavirus. It's not SARS. It's not Ebola. It's not anything that you say it is. It is it. Right? I used to use this saying like, well, the old me, there ain't no old me. There's only me. There's only me now. And there ain't no future me. There's only, just same thing with the market. So don't stop all of your, this is what well, the last time the markets did this, stop. The last time the markets did this was never. It's only today. And the last time the Federal Reserve jumped in to save capitalism a little bit was in 2008. I was at Ground Zero. I was in the Board of Trade in Chicago and the Chicago Board of Options Exchange. And guess what? What they're doing now makes that look like nothing. So it's insanity. So again, in my flight suit, I'm telling you it's bad. When business owners and restaurant owners see that people in the Hamptons are getting 5 more houses because the stock market keeps going up and they're going bankrupt, that ain't good. But I'm going to be one of those people. So should you, and so can you. You guys know my story. September 11th, blink of an eye, I lost my job at 9/11 and said, you know what? I ain't relying on anybody ever again. I'm the pilot in command of me. Learned how to trade and never looked back from there. All right. Friday, the Blue Angels and the Thunderbirds are doing their Southeast Florida flyover. Looking forward to that. We're also going to be flying Friday. I'm going to be flying again with Orestes Lorenzo. I told you his story last week. MiG-23 pilot, defected from Cuba, got in a Cessna, went back and saved his wife and kids. What a great American. He's like, Wiz, I want to fly with you. I'm like, dude, I want to fly with you. So that's fantastic, and really happy that Matthew, my son Matthew, and Jack are taking this time to go through flight training. It's pretty cool. They're like two little wingmen. They're two hangars down from where we keep our L-39 and we brief to go flying. And Friday they're both flying. They're like going through flight school together, and it's pretty cool. Matter of fact, I think Matthew is going to solo in a couple weeks, and really looking forward to that. So use this time, right? I'm not going to let them sit inside and play video games or go skateboarding. I mean, they get to do all that stuff, but I'm trying to show that during a time like this, you can also make yourself better. Like we talked about weeks ago. If you can't go outside to the beach or wherever, go inside. Use this time to find you, to become a better you. Work out twice a day. Stop with the drinking. That's a big problem here, man. Well, liquor stores are an essential business. Oh, that's fantastic. That's super. Let's keep liquor stores open, but we can't go to the beach. Nice job, government. But anyway, use this time to work on becoming a better you. And when we emerge from this thing, which we will be a better and stronger nation. I guarantee it. Okay? All right, folks, have a great rest of your day. I'll be back probably Friday. Maybe talk to Orestes and watch the Blue Angels and the Thunderbirds, and we're going to go flying on Friday as well. Not near those guys, probably pretty far away from them. Okay, so have a great rest of your day. Happy hunting. Make sure you hedge, and God bless. I'll talk to you all later.